A swap deal is being mooted between Man United and Chelsea for Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho. Meanwhile, Manchester United's bid number 2 for Patrick Dorgu has been rejected by Lecce. What's the status with transfers and United? Are things shifting or are we there, just there, trying and trying, but not hard enough? Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Like, share, and subscribe because this is real proper talk. It's match day eve, but we feel there's quite a lot that is yet to be done when it comes to transfers, because at a time like this you want to focus on the game proper and think about what we are going to do to be able to get a point at the Craven Cottage. But if you hear stories like this, you want to pause and talk about them. Now listen, Man United's second bid, believed to be 34 million euros in total for Patrick Dorgu, was rejected by Lecce. Now Lecce are still holding out for 40 million euros in the summer. They do want to keep the player until the summer, when they have fought and known their position in the Serie A. They are trying to fight and stay in the Serie A. They don't want to sell now unless they are getting a good amount, and a good amount in their view is 40 million euros. Now United, desperate for a left wing back and a left back, are saying we want this kid now in Jan, but we've got 34. That is second bid there, and Lecce are saying it's not good enough. Now, of course, they know in the summer even more clubs might be interested in signing Patrick Dorgu. So Man United is stuck in that regard. Now we are waiting to see whether they will be going back with a third bid or they will move on and trigger other options, because there should be a plan B, plan C, plan D, and all those for Man United in terms of that position, the left back position, because there are so many players United has been linked with. Now, the latest though is concerning Alejandro Garnacho, and this is the more interesting one, guys. Man United are believed to have made contact with Chelsea, or vice versa, Chelsea making contact with Man United. Either way, it's the same. They have contacted each other on two players. Now, Chelsea want Garnacho, contemplating putting in a bid, but they first had to discuss about whether it's possible for them to go into a swap deal. Remember, Chelsea have got a Christopher Nkunku who is wanted by Bayern, but for a deal to happen between Bayern and Chelsea for Nkunku, there should be an assurance that Matthew Stells will be willing to leave Bayern and join Chelsea. So there is a bit of that, and Stells is not seeming to agree. Now Chelsea, who against their will are going to be forced to sell Christopher Nkunku because he wants more playing time. The player wants to leave. So Chelsea speak up to Man United about the possibility of either having a separate deal for Garnacho, and United as well, have a separate deal for Nkunku, or a swap deal involving the two. Now, how the swap deal would go is what I'll be interested to see. Guys, Chelsea are as cunning and stealthy as they come. Chelsea are smart. They do get about their business so well. That's why they have made the most amount of money across the past 10 years across all the teams in Europe in terms of transfers. They have made about 1.4 billion euros. It's not by mistake. It's because they have got guys who just know how to rip off clubs like Man United. They can rip you off when you're watching. They are just good at it. Now, I feel like they're trying to come up with something smart again and have Man United fall victim, because if you even think about a swap deal involving a 27-year-old who was bought for £52 million in 2023, signed a long contract of 6 years, now has got 4.5 years left on his contract, but he has only scored 2 goals and assisted once in 18 games in a season. For a 20-year-old kid who has been top scorer at Man United, it doesn't make sense. If Chelsea, and you see, I've seen and heard that Chelsea have placed a £70 million price tag on Christopher Nkunku. So that's even more than what Man United would take in cash for Garnacho. Are you telling me that Christopher Nkunku is worth more than Garnacho? Are you telling me that? Or are they even worth close to the same amount? That's what Chelsea are trying to do. They're trying to make it look like so that United, in their desperation for a goal scorer, will say, okay, let's have a direct swap deal. Take the 20-year-old Garnacho and you give us your 27-year-old flop who can't even start a game for Chelsea in the Premier League. I don't think that will be progress. That would be the stupidest swap deal, for lack of a better word. the only logical swap deal involving Nkunku, because Nkunku perhaps could work for Man United because he's a goal scorer. He was also a creative, can also play as a second striker and stuff, and he has and a winger at times. But unless you're getting Nkunku and they add you another, at the very least 30 million pounds for Garnacho. That's the only swap deal that would make sense. If Man United are getting Nkunku and cash not less than 30 million or 30 to 40, it would make sense because of the difference in age. That's one. But also, Garnacho currently is ahead of Nkunku. There is no way it can be a direct swap deal. But Chelsea can corner this desperate Man United, who also need goals, who need a more experienced striker than Zaxi and Hoyland to learn from, and make use of that situation to rip them off. Guys, let's watch this. I'm watching this too. We want to see what is bound to happen. But things are moving so slow. The only thing that has happened for now is Antonio Dos Santos touching down in Spain for his loan move at Real Betis. That's the only progress that has happened with Man United and player transfers or player exits for now. What next is going to happen? We can only have to wait and see. Otherwise, things are shifting a bit slow, or should I say, in reverse gear. Progress, no progress. One step forward, two steps back. What's happening? Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. If you ask me, this swap deal should involve cash coming from Chelsea to Man U. Cheers. Give me your opinion. Should Man United swap Garnacho for Christopher Nkunku?